Staffing. There are reports into us at Fox last night that you've been having meetings with some staffers, warning them about staff shakeups. You referred to it the other day based on some of these leaks, and now apparently some of the staffers of the White House are accusing you of being one of the chief leakers. What would you say to that, Kellyanne?
No, I haven't heard that, but that's pretty funny. If I were a great leaker, I guess I'd get much better press. There are some people here who, frankly, the senior level, junior level, they've been leaking, and some don't work here anymore. Some are on the outside now. They've been fired or forced out or couldn't get through the front door in the first place. But they ought to realize that those of us who are here and who are here because we support this president and this president's agenda, that we're just going to continue to do our jobs.
Well, why do you think this is an ongoing issue that we keep coming back
on? Well, let me say a couple things. There are a few of us who are the public-facing individuals for this president and this administration. We are asked to go out and convey on behalf of the president and his administration different issues and ideas and events and things that are happening. Most of what we know, we never talk about. And I've been somebody who's had a top secret clearance all along since we got those clearances. I'm somebody who is in many meetings where the content is never divulged. I've been involved in many different one-on-ones that I would never divulge because that's not part of the public's right to know. That's part of the workplace here and confidential conversations.
You know, and the point is, I mean, you started this conversation talking about a source within the FBI spying on your campaign, and that may have been the case in the end.
It may have been. I said it may have been.
Is there a source inside the West Wing that's kind of trying to do you guys in? And you're saying you're not the source of these leaks, just to put a fine point on it.
No, I'm not. That's a ridiculous notion, and I know there are plenty of people who don't like each other, it turns out. They have to settle those disagreements on their own, frankly. I think any workplace does have that, but I think that they have to settle them on their own and think about why they're here and how blessed and privileged they are to be here. But let me say something else, too. This whole idea that leaks come from press and comms only or at all is pretty naive, given the fact that this is a very large complex of hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people who have access to different information or sitting in meetings. Their assistants certainly do. And so I just think the president should be surrounded by people that he can trust.
I think he would agree with that, too. Yeah. Yes. Now, two other matters quickly to get to on North Korea. Is China giving Kim Jong-un cold feet on this summit?
That I can't comment on, but I will tell you that this president is ready to go. So if the June 12th date stays on the president's schedule, it's there. He's ready to go if those conditions are met. And if they're not, the president has made very clear, Bill, that maybe it'll happen in the future. He's fine either way because there are certain conditions that need to be met first. But come what may, what this president has been able to accomplish in a very short period of time between two countries who have been at war basically for 70 years, the 3 American detainees who are here on American soil now home, who had been detained by North Korea, this president is already making great strides. And speaking of China, as I stand here on the White House North Lawn, you have the Vice Premier of China and others who are here meeting with our trade team to try to hammer out new agreements. This president has made very clear
that's a
when
big
it comes
deal
to China.
Too. Yeah, indeed
He's stalling the relationship, but at the same time, he wants fair and reciprocal trade that benefits Americans and American workers.
We've got a segment on that coming up in 15 minutes. Quickly, the last question I have here is on this Planned Parenthood move, the ban on these federally funded facilities. What is the effect of that, do you think?
Well, respectfully,
why that policy now?
Well, respectfully, I think that's the wrong way of describing it. What this is taking money that is Title X family planning money and recognizing that abortion is not family planning. This is family planning money. Planned Parenthood is the nation's largest abortion provider. It spends tens of millions of dollars on political activity, including for President Trump's opponent last time unsuccessfully. And there are about 20 qualified women's health centers in this country for every one Planned Parenthood facility. And those qualified women's health centers, Bill, provide mammograms, STD screenings, contraception. What they don't provide is abortion. You can still get an abortion in this country. You can get it in many different places. We just don't think taxpayers should have to pay for that. And according to a Marist Knights of Columbus poll, 6 in 10 Americans think that taxpayers should not be funding it. This gets us back to many of the Reagan-era policies. And this has been upheld, much of this has been upheld by a Supreme Court decision called Russ versus Sullivan. Let's get out of the business of taxpayer funding of abortions. People still have a right to get them, but taxpayers shouldn't be funding them. And by the way, in a place like Maine, in a state like Maine, you have four Planned Parenthood facilities in the entire state. You have 172 qualified women's health centers.
Thank you for your time. I've got more, but I hope you come back, okay?
Absolutely, Bill.
And
thank you.
Respectfully, thank you for your time as well, okay? Kellyanne Conway.